I'm sure that we've all seen the show Hoarding, and for some reason we're entertained watching someone's filthy bags and cluttered house finally get cleaned for the first time in years. The show talks about how hoarding is a psychological disease, and it is a problem that many people suffer from. While many of us cringe at the thought of not getting through the house or having 20 cats urinating everywhere, those who are hoarders do not see it the way we do. UCSD.edu estimates that approximately 1.2 million Americans are compulsive hoarders. Today I'm going to inform you about the characteristics of compulsive hoarding, the common reasons that people hoard, and finally the possible dangers of being a hoarder. Excuse me. My first point is that I'm going to tell you about is the common characteristics of someone who is a hoarder. Princeton.edu says that the definition of a hoarder is a person who accumulates things and hides them away for future use. Many other characteristics of a hoarder, as said by elements of behaviorhealth.com, is having a negative personality, showing displays of anxiety, indecisiveness, and poor social skills, like not going out and just staying at home alone, not having many friends and blocking out friends and family. Excuse me. Hoarders also have trouble making decisions. They procrastinate about a lot of things, saying that, oh, they'll clean the house tomorrow, oh, they'll put this away tomorrow, or maybe next week. They don't like other people touching things in the house, so having people come over could be a very big issue. They might have displaying anxiety of people coming over because they fear that they'll touch their house or take something from their house which they have attachment to. They also move objects around. They're moving this box over to the corner, from the corner to the table, but they don't throw it away. They have really big attachment to the items, and they have grown to think that they need this, even if it's trash, and they can't throw anything away. Everything is valuable to them. They think that sometime along the way they're going to need this, and they aren't very organized, and a lot of times trash just builds up in the house. Now you know all the characteristics of a typical hoarder. We'll look at the reasons why someone would start hoarding. There are numerous possibilities of why a person could start hoarding, but these are just a few. UCSD.edu says that up to 85% of hoarders have a family member who also hoards. So chances are, if your mom or your dad was a hoarder growing up, you or your siblings will also start to hoard, and your children after that and after that. It's just how you grow up. It's what you're accustomed to, and that's how you learn it. People who hoard also have emotional stress. They might have lost a loved one or had abuse or trauma. And 25 to 40% have OCD that ends up leading to compulsive hoarding. And not only do the psychological needs of a hoarder need to be taken care of, the physical dangers need to be addressed too. Hoarders can live alone or with a family. Either way, there's still a lot of potential for danger in the environment. Mass.gov says that hoarders could possibly be evicted because their houses are usually in such poor condition and so gross that there's really no way to, unless they clean it up, they're going to be evicted, and then they're homeless and living out on the street. The clutter in the house also poses a risk, because if there was a fire, they probably wouldn't be able to get out in time, and all that stuff would just go up in flames, and then they're going to end up being trapped in the house and burning. There's also a lot of health problems that go on for hoarders. It's very unsanitary. There's dust, there's pet dander if they have pets, and so asthma is a big thing. And then, you know, if they aren't cleaning up from the animals, then there's animal feces and pee, and that's not very healthy to be breathing in or living in, and then that attracts bugs which get in their food, and that's unsanitary too. Plus, if it gets so bad, they could not have plumbing, and then there's even more unsanitary conditions. Because of that, it could lead to removal from CPS, Child Protective Service, or Adult Protective Services, and they'll be taken into protective custody so that they aren't living in those conditions anymore. And as you can see, hoarding is definitely a real disease with real problems that need to be addressed. And the more we learn about hoarding, the easier it may be to recognize a loved one who is a hoarder and prevent them from living in unsafe conditions and help them get over it. And there's not only a problem of accumulating so much stuff, but the reason that the person started hoarding needs to be addressed too. You've learned the characteristics of hoarding, what causes hoarding, and the dangers of being a hoarder. Use the knowledge that you've learned to educate others and help the hoarders that need help. There are 1.2 million Americans who are hoarders, and chances are somebody that you know is one.